Hello and welcome back to the SourceFed podcast. I'm Bree Esrig, and joining me today I have two ladies. This is a SourceFed first. I think this is the first all-woman podcast. We've got Candace Carrizales.
Hello.
Whitney Moore.
Hello, we're going to be talking about our pussies.
Hey, queen. I'm so excited. I was just I know. Poor Candace.
What did I sign up for?
Pussy talk.
What was the first thing you said when I said it's the first all-female thing earlier to Sophia? You said something. It was really funny.
Oh, I don't remember. You guys had to be there.
Oh, okay. That's true. So today I actually sent out a tweet because I had to know, what I was telling the girls earlier. I was like, this is a great opportunity to talk about gross things girls do.
Yeah. Guys assume that we are not gross when, in fact, we are much grosser than guys.
Right?
I truly believe.
Everybody thinks we're so dainty and pure.
Okay, let me tell you something. Okay?
Yeah.
This is where we're going to have... Okay, I think that you guys are, very put-together people. And I think I'm just a goddamn mess. And I think other people see that, and they're like... She's a goddamn mess. She needs to brush her hair. She doesn't wear makeup. I feel sloppy, and I think that people are like, yeah, she's, kind of a dirty, sloppy girl. But she's, fine. I don't know.
You're so fine, Candace.
Yeah,
What are you
Candace.
doing?
I just feel
Do
love
not
you so
ever brush your
much.
hair, please.
Please don't.
Thank you.
And
thank
if you don't like makeup, don't wear makeup.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I'm not going to wear makeup. Haven't yet, going on almost 20 years strong without makeup.
Heyo.
We're just better at concealing grossness.
It's so
put a layer of makeup over
Why
it.
do we try to hide it so
I don't
hard
know.
when it's who we are inside is just disgusting trash monsters?
Garbage babies for life. You know what, though? I feel like it comes across whenever I open my mouth.
Same. Same. Okay, wait. So before we go into the questions that you guys asked on Twitter, what's something really gross about you two that you kind of don't really talk about, but you think people should know?
I think I'm all here right now. You see it, I'm snotting all the time out of sinus infection. I don't know. I don't think there's anything I feel like I'm doing everything a guy is doing. I hang out, I blow my nose. Yeah, when I'm alone, maybe my finger will go up my nose.
That was the question I was going for.
Mm-hmm.
Do you pick your nose?
Yeah, you guys, I pick that nose. Not really. I don't really stick my finger up there. I don't know.
What about
These
with a
questions
tissue?
are so hard. I pick my nose, and then there's a tissue over top of it. So it's just
It's like finger condom for your nose.
yeah, because you're I don't want to do that bare.
That's how you get sick.
I've got one.
Yes.
I almost never wear deodorant. Almost never. And my dude actually is like, how can you get away with that? He'll let me know if I'm smelly, and when you can smell yourself, that's obviously time to take a shower. Most days, just don't wear it.
And
And
be honest with you, neither do I.
it's not that necessary unless you're a person that sweats a lot. I personally don't sweat a ton, but I don't know, never felt like I needed it. It's never come up. Nobody's ever, maybe everyone is just like, dude, fucking Whitney smells so bad.
I know.
Don't tell her.
I think about that all the time. I'm I'm just so gross. But honestly, I just sometimes roll out of bed and I just come to work. And
It's not even good for you to shower every day, by the way. It's not good for your hair.
It's definitely
Sometimes
not good for your hair.
You just gotta not wash your hair, and it's fine. Everybody.
I don't know. Everything you're telling me right now is just normal to me. I don't know.
It's
And maybe
normal.
I have I went to an alternative high school with very open-minded people, and I don't know. I've surrounded myself with I think I don't know, the guys don't really care and stuff, and I understand that there totally is that standard of guys being that's gross, some of them, but I think that wearing no deodorant is a normal thing. Not shaving all the time is normal, and I think it's fine, and I don't think it's gross at all. And
it just goes against the standard of what guys set for us, and you're totally right. It is absolutely normal. If you're not offending anybody with your BO, then you're fine.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
I think people would be grossed out to hear that for some reason.
I know. Yeah, you're probably
I was
right.
telling Brie earlier that everything I do is for myself. If I put on deodorant on, it's for myself because I want to smell good. If I choose to shave that week, it's for myself because I want to feel a little sexier or something,
Yeah.
So I think that it's important to all the ladies out there, I think it's important to remember, like, hey, do this stuff for you. Well, come on.
Well, what do you
this
do?
is
This
ladies
isn't all
talk.
girls.
We're talking about our pussies.
Oh my God, you guys have vaginas?
Yeah.
Well, we don't interrupt the all guys podcast.
That's called the Dick Slinging Podcast.
It was. Thank you for coming on, our special guest William Haynes.
Candace
Stop
was
by
just
for a second.
saying the
I
most
was
beautiful
trying to get
thing.
I know, that was
real.
so
I was trying to
eloquent.
get real, you know. I was trying to get, hey,
I think
everybody,
also, though,
do whatever
like-
you want. And then a guy
Exactly.
will be like, that's chill. Like,
Yeah.
If somebody's not chill with that, then it's like, okay, they're not worth my time.
Yeah,
like,
Totally.
I don't know.
I think that's something I've learned the older I get too, is like guys don't give a fuck if you like haven't showered or whatever. They're good to go all the time. And not just like sex wise, but also just like guys care a lot less about stuff that I used to think was so important when I
Yeah.
was like, when I was your age. I had given less of a fuck about it.
I have a little confession of something gross that I used to do but have stopped doing. I was watching the movie Wetlands the other night. I was showing Steve because he hadn't seen it before, and it's
a great
gross
movie.
out,
Yeah.
dramedy. It's incredible. And there's this one thing she does in the movie, Helen, that I have done, and it's stick your hand in your vagina, smell to make sure you smell good,
Yeah.
and then wipe it like it's perfume on like your pulse points, like your wrist or your throat.
I love that. Do you feel like it
Because
works?
I totally felt like it worked, but that could have just been like psychosomatic. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
could have just been a thing
Just
where
what
it's
you're
like
putting on.
you're attracting a mate with your musk.
I mean, who hasn't done a smell check? Everybody does.
smell check is fine,
But,
but,
like-
to rub it on yourself like perfume is pretty gross.
I was gonna try to guess which part from Wetlands because there's just so many good moments in that movie.
That's the thing about that movie is like when I'm watching it, yes, it's some parts are super gross, but for the most part, it's just like a validating thing
Yeah,
for
like,
me
that's
because
real.
I'm like, I've done so many of those gross things.
Yeah, who hasn't cut their butthole shaving? Everybody has.
Right? I know.
I know you
right,
know what I'm
Candace?
talking
I know
about.
I
Candace
haven't.
has.
Let me tell you.
All
But
right,
I'm
let's-
sure the day will come. I have many years ahead of me.
All right, let's get right into this podcast or into the Twitter questions because I asked you guys and we got some good ones so far. What was my initial tweet? It was kind of embarrassing. We're about to record an episode of the SourceFed podcast. What's something gross, all caps, you've always wanted to know about women? Ask away. Nothing's off limits. So let me see. I screenshotted a few.
I
of
have a
them.
few things off limits, but okay.
Well, you know what, Candace? You don't have to answer
I'm
anything
so
you don't want to.
scared right now.
All right. Does it bleed the first time women have sex? This one comes from It's Alex's Fault.
Aw. I didn't, because it's the hymen that rips, and that happened. I remember
Horseback riding?
not horseback riding, cheerleading tryouts.
Oh.
I didn't get on the team.
Because you had a carry. You had a carry experience in the girls' locker room, and all the girls like threw tampons at you.
No, it's actually because you had to have a pristine hymen to join the cheerleading squad.
I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case at all. It's really hard to get on the cheer team. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't bleed for me either.
I mean, I don't think even if it did, like, it's not that much.
Yeah, it's
not
just a little
like
bit.
it's not like what you're probably imagining, like a ton. It's just like a spot of blood from a little bit of tissue. Do you know people
Okay.
repair?
This is like next
This
question.
is personal
Did you know
for
that people
me.
repair their hymens?
I did know that.
That's a thing,
They
and that
what?
is, you can have your hymen surgically repaired,
yeah.
so you can lose your virginity again, I guess, or like have
Maybe
it
like be
intact.
pure on your wedding night or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's real.
yeah.
That's real.
That's not okay.
All right, Candace. I'm going to spare
Let's
you.
see. Everybody, do what you want.
Do you? I'm going to go back to the booger question because Kevin Campos wants to know, or at Judge Pilo, I don't know. When picking your nose, do you roll up your boogers and flick, or do you immediately wipe it on the nearest surface?
Ooh, roll.
I'm a roller.
Wait, what do you?
You got to get it nice and so it's
you
not
can
wet.
flick it, yeah.
You need it to not be wet so you can drop it.
Yeah, it won't detach if it's gross.
I always find something. I always find a piece of paper, whether it's like a receipt or like a piece of. I need a.
That's very classy of you.
I always gotta put it in something. I don't want it on my hands.
No one wants it on their hands.
But
Obviously, you're gonna put
you don't
it
ever like roll it up and like throw it
No.
on the street. Really, you got to control where it goes.
I'm always like, does anybody have a tissue? And then I just like, I have like something hanging out of my nose until I find something to blow it in.
You are like you're like the furthest from not put together. You're like not a monster.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about how you're like a gross, like, because you don't brush your hair, you don't do your makeup. It's like, no, you're like so put together.
Candace, I feel like you're
don't-
honestly
I'm
the
just-
least gross.
No, I
so
know.
far.
No, I just don't want it all over my hands. And then like, I feel like I have watery snots. So then it's just like, I can't roll it up.
Well, you're gonna
I
have to
don't
wipe it.
I don't really have a choice. And I'm not going to wipe it on my denim.
That's
Are
a
you
great.
Gotta save
kidding
the
me?
denim.
Of course. God bless the denim. This question comes from @Faye Paul. Hope I pronounced that right. He wants to know, why do you ask questions like, do I look fat in this dress? It's so evil. There is no good answer to this. I think there is a good answer to this.
Yeah, and it's no.
It's no.
Yeah. You know what? It's so tricky, and I like definitely have subjected boyfriends to that, because you do, on one hand, you want an honest answer. Like, I would love it if my dude was like, not the most flattering thing on you, not my favorite thing on you. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
But he does the right thing, which is always like, no, are you kidding me? Let's get you a cheeseburger right now.
Yeah. Good answer. Why do we ask that question? We just want to be validated. We want to be told that what we're wearing looks good on us.
Yeah, just
Simple as that.
compliments. That's it.
We're looking for compliments.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for when we ask that question.
It's not so hard.
No, I don't think so. Do you have a good answer?
Mm-mm.
Great.
Really.
All right. This one comes from Mike Falzone. You don't actually poop, right? Because that would be
God,
too much.
no.
Mike,
Ugh.
come on, man.
Of course we don't poop.
No.
Yeah, probably about like 5 times a day.
Okay.
That
so
seems really healthy.
maybe we
It
should
seems
talk about that.
unhealthy. I worry sometimes. It used to be a lot of cacas a day. And I
Are
was
you a
like,
rabbit?
Mm-hmm.
What are you eating? Are you a fiber person?
No, I eat the worst stuff ever, which is probably why. Like I used to eat kind of healthy, and this whole year I've just been eating the worst I've ever eaten in my life.
Like what?
Fast food.
Like? Is there a specific?
Hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, nuggets, ramen. Like
Those are all good.
restaurant,
You're making me hungry.
restaurant ramen. You got Chinese food, Thai food.
Do you guys think that there's a healthy, normal amount of poop that like works for everybody? Like, what do you think is the healthy number? I don't know.
I think one a day. As long as you're
I
doing
try.
one a
That
day.
seems
try
really
one a
low
day.
to me. I
It
feel
seems
like
low
it
to me
should be
too,
like-
personally,
It should be
but-
like at least 2, I think would be healthy, but let's bring in our specialist.
I wish we had a specialist.
Can one of us be the character, please?
Hi.
Dr. Kyle Newport.
My name is Dr. Kyle Newport, and I just need to tell you about your bowel health. There's a lot of gut bacteria that you need to
I totally
take care of.
I totally forgot this was a podcast, and I was like, what do you want? You mean one of us to be the character? Like, everybody's seeing this? But then I was like, some people are seeing it, some people are listening. We could have tricked half of America.
Well, I think Kyle Newport, our expert, is here with us.
Sorry.
And he's going to tell America how it
I
is.
have a lot of probiotics.
Have you guys ever had probiotics? They're so
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah, but you have to. If you go
Why?
on antibiotics, you gotta cancel that shit out.
What's gross about probiotics?
I had that. What's it called? It's like in the yogurt section. It's like Eucola. or
Yakult?
something. Yeah, it's
The,
one of those.
the little drink. I fucking love that stuff. It's
Really?
so good. Yeah, it tastes like the tart version of the frozen yogurt that you get at
Do you
like
think that-
Yogurtland.
Maybe because I haven't had it in a while, but
I think
when
that shit's delicious.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
I just take probiotic pills. You just pop them in, you're done. You're good to go.
Okay.
true.
Yeah, it's nice and easy, and you don't have to taste. Yeah.
Yakult.
I'm curious. What do you, like? I kind of want to know. This is a question for the comment section or reviews on iTunes, whatever. Like, please write about your poop in the review section.
Yeah, tell
How
us.
many
Yeah.
times a day do you poop? I think
what
that's
do you
a
think
great
is
question.
healthy?
And
Do
what do
you
you
think
think
is
is healthy?
healthy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would be really curious.
I am very curious. Speaking of poop, at Adam wants to know when you wear. This is so funny. When you wear thongs, how often do you get poop on it?
Aww. All the time.
I actually don't.
I feel maybe I'm not wiping well enough.
Probably
I
not.
feel like I don't wear thongs very often. I don't know, but I feel like
Yeah, I don't know.
when I do, it's like the string kind, and it is usually like inside of my butthole.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
little skid mark
maybe
every
I'm wearing
once
a
in a
thong
while.
now. Maybe I should check.
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like
I'll comment and I'll tell you guys if there's poop in my panties.
while you check on that, I feel like it's only fair to say, like, I feel like guys get skid marks all the time in their underwear.
Yeah, and
Like,
guys don't even. That's not even like anywhere around their buttholes.
no.
It's just like
What's going on in there? What are you guys doing? What's going on?
Because, like, I get it if there's, like, a strip of fabric that's, like, inside or on top of your actual butthole, but guys don't have that. I've never thought about this before.
Candace is so comfortable right now.
I'm
She's
like so
"Oh,
uncomfortable."
fuck." I'm so sorry.
No, you guys are fine. These are just questions I'm gonna choose not to answer.
That's great.
But I'm here for the support. I'm here for the moral support. I just am like,
This is very cathartic for me.
I'm
me too. Not gonna lie, me
so
too.
glad. I'm happy. I'm just
It's
here
okay.
to be
We'll go
like-
back to
I'm just
regular.
here to be like, I'm young and this is personal.
We'll go back to normal conversation after I've answered a few more. Like, or I've searched for a few more, right? Okay. At Evans, Luke Joseph wants to know, I've heard women pee on toilet seats too. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Like, purposefully?
No. I feel like it's splashes.
We all are peeing on toilet seats purposefully, so the next woman is miserable.
I feel like there has to be some people, guy or a girl, that does that shit on purpose. Like, nobody just, like, has zero bladder control and just, like, pisses everywhere. That's got to be on purpose. I don't feel like I've ever peed on a toilet seat, like, wily.
Right.
I think you guys, I'm going to get personal
Please
now.
do.
Yeah.
I would love
I don't like to sit on the toilet seat all the time, so you're squatting and then you pee on the seat. And then
Alright.
it's your choice to wipe it off or have the person after you wipe it off. So
It's true. What do you pick?
I wipe it off.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fair, and that's very nice. My biggest question and response is, who are the monsters that leave their pee and poop in the toilet?
Yeah. Okay, I have a little bit of an answer for this because my sister would always do that and she'd just forget, which is a
How?
weird, I don't know. She was just like, she'd just go and then like forget, I guess, and then like just go about her business.
I'm gonna be honest. When I'm at home, I leave pee in the toilet. I don't flush for like 3 pees because it's a waste of water.
Oh, you're yellow,
Yeah.
let it mellow one.
Brown, flush it down. Yellow, let it mellow. Yeah.
Is that real? Is that like, I feel like all of the water is going to almond farming and cows and not our toilets.
Perhaps. I feel like 'cause when I went to an alternative school, like a boarding art school, like that was our thing. Was like we were in a drought, and everyone was like, the teachers were like, "Hey guys, so if you pee, leave it in the toilet. If you pee, let it be." Is what
Aw.
they would say.
I feel like that's it, whether or not it really makes a difference. It like makes you feel like you're chipping in and
something.
like doing something about it. So like whether or not it's like a big difference or not, at least you feel like you're making a more positive impact than a negative
I mean,
one.
each flush
Totally.
is like 5 gallons of water, so
so much.
it's
Yeah,
definitely
it's
got to
doing
be
something.
something.
Yeah.
But in a public restroom, though, it's super gross.
Yeah, because not
Oh,
everybody
right.
goes by those rules.
Yeah, and I think some of the things you practice at home probably in public aren't the best etiquette.
Do you guys
There's
pee in the
nothing more to
shower?
yes, I pee in the shower. There's nothing grosser though than than poop in the toilet in a public restroom. That's like there's
it's so
nothing more gross to
gross.
me. I did not need to see that ever, ever.
Even like when somebody leaves their tampon and I'm like, that's gross, but like at least it's not
Poop.
human shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something, Candace?
I don't remember.
Oh, great. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. This one comes from @Born Identity.
Oh, I love those movies.
Yeah, I love the Born
Shout
Identities.
out to the Bourne Identity movies. Shout out to Jason Bourne. Shout out to Matt Damon. I love those movies. Haven't seen the new one yet. I'm scared it's gonna be bad. What's his question?
This question is dick size preference?
Oh, there's a real threshold. It's weird because it's like too big is not fun. It's like it goes to the point where it's like fun, not fun at all. And I don't know what's past that, but for me, there's definitely like a limit. Because like after a certain size, you're just like hitting your cervix, and that fucking hurts.
I get that. I don't really have a preference, to be honest. I think you can make it work no matter what it is. Like, I mean, I've had sex with girls, so it's like, if they don't have a penis, obviously I can deal with a guy with a very small penis.
Being self-sufficient is extremely important.
Dr. Kyle Newport, is that you?
Hello, I'm here to talk to you about your vagina's health and be able to get yourself off.
Oh, that's so gross. Ugh. Slurping is so gross. Okay. Yeah, but dick size preference, it's not really.
It's not as important as you think it is, bottom line.
I think it's more important to you as a dude than it is to us.
Yeah.
I think it does probably matter to some people, but
Probably,
it also depends. I'm gonna be honest. Probably depends if you're like maybe if you're a little shallow or something too.
Yeah.
You could just be like, oh, it's so tiny, like. No way. And it's like, oh, if you like really like that person, like shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. And also that's like, it's not really, dick size isn't really actually like key to a woman's pleasure or like getting off. Like what you were saying, it's like most girls know how to get themselves off. And if not, you definitely should explore that and figure it out because dick size is not going to like make a difference.
Totally.
So don't worry about it, guys.
No.
You're fine.
You're totally fine. You're normal no matter what. This is a great question. This one comes from @UberTieGuy. Ever forget you have a tampon in?
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Dude, tampons hurt. I like can never, especially because I don't get my period that often. It's like birth control every couple months. When it hits, it's horrible. But so when I have a tampon in, I'm like always thinking about can I get this out of my body?
Yeah. I feel that. When I was in 8th grade, though, once I had a tampon in, forgot that I had it in. I went to the bathroom and put another tampon in. And so then when I was sitting in class, I was like, the one that I had just put in, like, was, like, coming out. And I was like, oh, my God, what's happening? My body is rejecting this tampon. And I just let it sit. And then I took it out. And I still didn't realize the other one was inside me. So I put another one in.
Oh, no.
Same thing happened, and I let it sit for like hours because I was at school. And then when I got home, I realized that the other one was
Did that
still in there.
hurt?
It hurt so bad.
I bet. Oh, man.
I had left it.
Ouch.
I had left it in overnight too. It was the one from the night before. I was like,
no.
so scared I was gonna get toxic shock.
Oh my God, I read an article recently about a girl that got toxic shock because that's something like you never hear about happening. But she
No.
described it, and it sounds fucking horrifying.
What is it like? What did she say?
She said she felt dizzy and passed out, and then woke up like 8 hours later and couldn't move and was like felt paralyzed. And she kept throwing up, and she didn't know what was going on, but she was like dizzy and like couldn't move, and like it sounds terrifying. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck with that.
No.
I think a girl had to get something amputated because of
What?
toxic shock.
Her vagina?
I think it was her leg. Yeah. It's not
That's what I feel like. There's two alternatives to
I mean, that's what
tampons,
I heard,
though.
but I might be wrong. It might have been, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Can you still get toxic shock from like those Earth cups, the ones that
like
you
the
put
Diva
in?
cups?
The Diva cups, yeah.
I don't think so. I think that it's like a cotton thing.
Okay.
I don't know though. I've never tried those. They seem like a lot of effort.
Yeah.
But I've heard good things.
I've heard good things about
Yeah.
Diva cups. Pads are a nightmare because it's like
Yeah,
wearing a diaper.
diapers, yeah.
But what I wear is period underwear.
Oh, you
And
tried
it's
it?
the best. I have like
Yes.
a pair in every kind, like a thong, a bikini, a granny pant. I have like every version of it in every color because they're amazing.
I'm gonna get that. I feel like that's the best solution because you don't want to stick anything up there. It's not fun.
No.
It's not like you don't want to fuck with any of that. That's great. That's a great solution.
This question. This is a great. I think one more question and then we're good, right?
Cool.
Like this is good. This question comes from @snugglebutt21. Cute.
Aw.
This is great. Do you really pluck black hairs from your nipples?
No.
Yes. I have before, but it's weird. It's not like I watch it and I'm like, oh, there's another hair that I gotta get. It's like, I think it's actually probably around getting my period. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Get it.
Yeah.
But also, like, if I found one, like, maybe,
Whitney's checking, so she's just checking.
oh, I found one. I'm
Okay.
gonna leave it.
Let it fly.
gonna
Let
let
it
it
hang
go.
out. Let
It's
it do its
fine.
thing. It's just chilling. There's
Yeah.
no harm.
It'll leave when it needs to leave.
Yeah, it'll go. It'll just disappear. Yeah, I feel like that's such a great point because I feel like, yeah, I get them like either around my period
It's
or like
definitely a
birth when I'm
hormonal
on
thing.
birth control. I
Yeah.
get them more. Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
weird. Huh.
Is there anything that you guys want to say about misconceptions about women's bodies? Because I would like to say that girls don't feel bad and guys understand that vaginas don't work a lot of the time. Like, I know girls that get chronic UTIs from having sex, yeast infections. It's just like your body is almost always fighting having a penis inside of you, which is weird.
That's so weird. Yeah.
and seems
true.
not right. But I mean, girls, don't feel like you're gross or bad if you get a yeast infection or like anything like that. Vaginas just have poor design.
I agree. I agree with that. And I think this is a great time to
Hey,
bring
Bree,
up.
I feel so tired. I did not get a good night's sleep yesterday night.
Do you think that could be because of your mattress, Candace?
I think it very well could be.
Well, you know what? You're in luck, okay?
Oh my
Because today's
gosh,
episode,
A solution.
yes, today's episode of the SourceFed podcast is brought to you by Helix Sleep. Go to helixsleep.com/SourceFed and get $50 off your order. That's $50 off your order.
It's $50 in your wallet.
I know. And guess what? You have 100 nights to try this out. And if you don't love this mattress, they're going to come pick it up for free and give you a 100% refund. No questions asked.
Whoa.
Refund, more like refund. I just said refund. Okay, great. Great. I just can't stop thinking about this yeast infection. All right. So that was fun.
Closing thoughts. I want you guys to answer this question because I feel like there's a lot. I feel like we were talking about this before, and there's like a lot of misconceptions about women's bodies
I think
or the way women act.
I think there's just something I need to get off my mind because it's like, okay, wait, pause. What's up? It's good. Okay.
I was going to say mid-roll or, mid-roll.
We did it. Okay, good. Yeah, we did it. So I feel like I hate when people, men in particular, I feel like women don't really do this to each other. They're always like, you're in a bad mood or you on your period. And I hate
yeah.
when they say it, and yet I guess I just hate it when I'm not on my period and they say it. But when I'm on my period, all I want to do is say, I'm on my period right now and I'm being a monster and I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
it's like a double-edged thing where I'm like, I hate when other people accuse me of being on my period, but I also like using it as an excuse.
Yeah, I mean, it's not real, and it sucks that is a thing that people fall back on when like somebody's mad at them and it's like, well, you're on your period, because like, sure, that could be true. But also, most of the time, it's not, because I feel like girls are really cognizant if they're being really hormonal and crazy on their period. Like, for me, I definitely know. I'm like, well, I just said I hate you to no one in particular, and am crying because I dropped a spoon. And so, like, I'll be very extra sensitive with people's emotions if I know that that's going on. But if somebody accuses me, especially if it's not happening, also doubly, even if it is happening, I'd be like, listen, that's out of my control, and also fuck you.
Yeah, I feel like I guess it's just a way that somebody like negates your anger.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
takes that away from you, and that kind of sucks.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Listen to what somebody is saying instead of just like reacting.
But on the same token, periods just fucking blow, man.
Yeah, they're the worst.
It's the worst.
It's like nothing is going correctly. Your skin gets fucked up. You get bloated. You start, breaking out.
I eat everything.
You eat everything. You're sad and you're mad, and your brain is foggy. You can't think as well. It's just like the worst.
I have the best boyfriend ever, but every time I'm on my period, I'm like, am I going to break up with him? I think I'm going to break up with him because I fucking hate him. And I never, what? Why? he's amazing. So that it sucks. The whole thing sucks.
I think that a good takeaway for this podcast would be for all our young gentlemen fans, if you haven't been scared off yet, to just like understand that that's a very real thing that happens, and it's not like falling back on wanting to be a bitch and being like, I'm just getting I'm my period, it's an excuse. It's like it sucks. It really sucks. So just like have compassion, be cool, be cute, be sweet.
Yeah.
That's all I have to
Yeah.
say.
What about you, Candace? Anything to say about periods?
Everybody just do whatever you want and be nice.
Be nice.
Just
I like
do
that.
your thing. You know, I heard from studies that guys go through the same emotional period in a month as women
I've
do.
heard that too,
Really?
actually.
So we're all emotional. I've been with guys where they get a little cranky and bummery, and it's like, okay, they're going through stuff like, you just gotta have a equal understanding. We're all just hormonal for the rest of our lives.
It's true.
That's so true.
That's
Great
true.
point. Great point. And I think that wraps up our gross female facts segment, and we can just have a normal conversation that isn't about anything too gender skewed per
Yeah.
se. So, what do you guys want to talk about?
I want to talk more about that bed.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. Thank you for asking.
Okay, so I'm realizing this is probably going to go up on a Friday. We're recording this on Monday, so the weekend just happened. Did anything cool happen? I had something cool yesterday. I went to the Museum of Broken Relationships.
Oh, I saw
tight.
you posted a picture. Where is that?
It's on Hollywood Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Hollywood and Highland.
Is that the thing
in
where
that
the
area.
artist was like, send me all your stuff that's too painful to hold on to? God, that's such a good idea.
It's incredible, but you have to go there willing to read. Like it's just like every object has a story, and so you're gonna want to read where it comes from. And some of them are so beautiful and heartbreaking, and I like cried, and some of them are just so silly. So there was
I
this
love
one.
that.
There was this one, and it was like the words "she believed" and "he lied" combined, and that was the story. You know how like people do like the
He belied.
yes, it was one of those things, and I just was like, no, stop it. But there was also something where this girl was like, it was like 365 little love notes to put in a jar to give to him, like
Aw.
for his birthday or something, or their anniversary. And this girl only got like 100 days in. She was doing it every single day, and then he broke up with her, so she didn't get a finish.
Aw.
And it's stuff like that.
I thought you were going to say she ran out of nice things to say.
No, she was like, I would have kept going. I would have done
Aw.
it. It's sad.
Let me
That's
ask you
cool.
something. Are you this is a two-part question. Are you the type of person that keeps keepsakes from past relationships? And do you think that that's cool or okay?
Yes.
Me
Yes and
too.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had enough relationships to like do that, and it's like my relationship before this past one, I was upset with the person because they weren't good to me, and so it's like I don't need memories of that. Like we had a fun time, but it wasn't anything serious. And then this past relationship I had was more serious, and it's like we have like photo booth pictures together and stuff, and it's like, yeah, those are like fun keepsakes, and I have like a few things, and it's like, yeah, it's like nice little memories, I guess. But I don't know. I think it's exclusive to what the relationship was, for sure.
I have shit
Totally.
that dates back to high school relationships. I got a big old box under my bed, and nobody's ever gonna see it.
What's your favorite thing, if you don't mind sharing? What's your favorite thing in the box?
Okay. There was one time I was at an arcade with a guy that I dated, and we were having a really good time. And then these two girls that were about like 12 or 13 came up to us, and they were like, "Hey, do you guys want all of our tickets?" Which is a crazy thing for like a 12-year-old to be like, here, two adults like on a date. But they totally decided to like be bros, and they gave us like hundreds of tickets.
That's amazing.
And so I have a couple toys from that day that was just like such a weird, fun thing to have happen, where these kids like broed out with us, and they were like just these two little girls that were like, here, you crazy kids, have these tickets.
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay. This is pretty scandalous. I have an engagement ring.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
I know.
This
I could tell the
got
story if
so
you want. But
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can't believe I'm telling you this. Like, it's such a vulnerable story, whatever the fuck.
I know,
Okay.
but it's cathartic.
It's very interesting, though. So I had been seeing this guy for a couple of months, and we were very serious very fast, and he knew that he wanted to marry me right away. And
Wow.
I have kind of always known I didn't want to get married. But I was like, maybe one day, I don't know. And so he bought an engagement ring off the internet, and he told my sister about it. And he was like, I'm going to ask her to marry me. And my sister was like, no.
How long
Don't
had
do
you
that.
been dating?
3 months.
What?
Yeah, 3 months at
Wow.
the time. And my sister was like, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the dumbest thing you could ever do, because my sister keeps it real.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows me better than anyone. And so he was like, shit. But he decided to tell me. He was like, I ordered this ring off the internet because I was going to give it to you. And I was like, oh, and I had like this reaction of like surprise. And he's like, but it got lost in the mail and I got my money back. So it's fine. And I guess it was a sign, blah, 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 right? I was like, good, thank God. We ended up moving in together after 6 months. We were together for 4 years.
Wow.
We got into a huge fight one day, and he pulls down this picture of the two of us from the wall that was hanging up, and he opens up the back of it, and he hands me like a little folded up piece of paper.
I'm
And
scared.
inside
I'm
is
freaked
the
out.
engagement ring.
That's so spooky.
It never got lost
that
in the
sounds
mail.
like a horror movie. I don't know why.
And he like
I feel
he like
creeped out.
threw it at me, and he's like, it never got lost in the mail. I always had it because I always knew. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
So did you break up pretty soon after that?
We ended up breaking up like maybe 2 months after that.
Wow.
And
And he was like, just keep it? Just keep the ring?
actually, no. He was like, the only time we talked, it was like 2 weeks after we broke up. He texted me and he's like, hey, can I have that engagement ring back? And I never responded and I never gave it back to him. I still have it in that box of stuff.
funny.
That's great. You know what? It's yours. Whatever.
Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't like an expensive engagement. It was like $200 engagement ring.
that's
It was
fine.
like it was something. Here's the thing too, like it made me realize, like when I saw it, I was like, he never knew me at all. Like I never want a diamond. And it was like a little diamond. And I was just like, I don't think he really knew me. Like I never would want something like that.
Yeah, dude. That is a crazy story. That was so worth
Crazy.
it.
Yeah,
wanna-
that's
Maybe I
so
should
crazy.
put that in the museum. I should submit that to the museum with the story.
I bet they have so much shit like flooding in all the
Probably.
time. I want to tell you guys a story, and I want to see if you guys have any similar situations. So when I was in high school, I had a big crush on this boy who was my neighbor. And I would sneak out with him all the time. And we'd just like walk around and like talk, so innocent. One time he showed up at my house in the middle of the night dressed like the Crow.
No.
I thought it was so fucking cool.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
Well, that's good.
damn.
That's good.
And the cops came because he was dressed like the Crow. He's very scary looking. And I had to go out and be like, yes, my friend, it's fine. But I thought it was the hottest thing ever. And then a couple weeks later, I showed up at his house dressed like the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman.
Oh, that is so hot. That's so hot.
I was like 15 and had braces, and I was like, yeah, this is so hot. Nothing happened with us, though.
What?
Didn't go anywhere. I
Are
know,
you serious?
surprising, but
Wow, you guys dressed up for each other. You did a Seth and Summer from the OC.
we totally did.
Summer was Wonder Woman for
Oh
him.
my God. Yeah. R.I.P.
Any good stories, Candace?
Like zero. There was never outgoing or anything. I feel like I was a lot shyer in high school, and like I didn't have like any boyfriends or anything.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. My first like real relationship was last year. Like I don't have any crazy.
Have you ever made like a grand gesture after having a crush on somebody?
No.
What's
You
the
didn't ever
most
pull
extreme?
someone's hair? I hate that, by the way. I hate when people are like, when someone does something mean, oh, that means he or she likes you. It's like, or it means they're an asshole.
Yeah.
Damn.
Maybe we shouldn't hurt each other to like.
It was like that comedian that we were talking about right before we started this show. I think that he has a little crush on Candace because sometimes people can't process their emotions in a way that makes sense.
That's
And so
true.
they'll just bully because they want to flirt.
Maybe this dude
And
was.
negging
This
is a
dude
thing.
just came up to me and he goes, why are you wearing sandals? Don't those make women's feet dirty? Women's specific. Why do girls wear sandals? Don't they make their girls' feet dirty? And I'm like, yeah, they make, like, what is this conversation?
Dude, maybe he was negging you.
Your feet would get dirty if you were wearing sandals. Why do you wear your stupid tennis shoes? Like, what is this conversation?
Yeah.
And
I
then another
legit
time
think
we're
that
in
he
a
was trying to
we're in
neg
another
you.
conversation this other time, and he's telling me you like, and there was another girl there too, and he's like, you girls fall for guys crap all the time, like you're wrapped around their finger. And I laughed at him, and he said, you laugh now but you fall for it all the time. And I'm like,
You're like, you don't know me at all.
I've never, like, this is my first time meeting you. Great introduction. And then he's like, are you single? And I'm like, what are you doing?
See? I swear to God, dude, this guy is like a red pillar, has read like the game and wants to neg you because he likes you. That is so
It's just
real.
like, I'm like, don't talk to my feet that way, you know.
First of all, the three of us are wearing sandals right
We
now,
are.
which, come on. They're so
My feet
comfortable.
my feet are pretty dirty.
They're so, and B,
comfortable.
yes, they get your feet dirty, but come on, that's what a shower's for, which none of us will take because as we found out, we're all gross. Whatever.
That's true. Dirty feet for life.
You know what they say about dirty feet?
Dirty vaginas.
Sure. That, or they just say, why do you wear sandals if you know your feet are going to get dirty?
What a weird thing.
That's
I
so
can wear
weird.
whatever I want. Like, I don't know. Just don't.
But, like, who cares?
Who cares? Like, what are these questions you're asking me? These pointless questions.
Now I
don't
want to
have
know
ti-
everything about this person.
I just
though.
don't have time. Like, I don't have time for stupid ass questions. Like, I'm just
Did
like,
he ask
I'm just
any more?
here. No, because I was just like, I gave him a stink eye and walked away. I'm like,
Can I say what your stink eye looks like?
it's just no facial
Oh, it's no expression at all.
It's me being like,
Eye twitch.
I gotta get out of here. I should say that to him next time. I gotta get out of here. Like, I'm just here.
gotta go
I'm just
fast.
here to do some stand up and bounce. Like, I
Love
don't need
that.
to talk to you about
My feet.
my feet.
I think he likes you. I stand by the fact that I think that he's
I don't.
negging.
I feel like I don't see him enough for him to like me.
But that's like a move when guys, especially if they
It's
don't know
not a very
girl.
good move.
No, it's a shitty move. Don't do that. It's when a guy like wants to talk to a girl but doesn't have anything interesting to say, he'll just make fun of her to try to lower her expectations into wanting to fuck him.
Yeah, or he's just had such a bad experience with women in the past that he just
I
doesn't
think
know
he
how to
ju-
act.
I just think he's rude, and he just wants to.
Or he's a dick,
And I
yeah.
just think he wants to start stuff with people. I do. Just like hearing from other people's experience. It's just a guy that wants to start stuff, and you're like, whatever. Like, I'm not interested. In
Yep,
that.
that's fair. Some people just like
But
to
I do want
stir it
beef
up.
with you.
This is why I love you. You are like no drama, no bullshit. Just like I just want to exist in my space. Please, please, just stop being weird.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I just, I'm just living my life. Living my life in the fast lane, and there's no time for those slow ass cars.
Oh God. Speaking of driving, like pet peeves while driving. Come on, slow cars. If you're going
am
under the
I'm the
speed
slow
limit,
car.
are you the going under the speed limit person?
I'm going at the speed limit, not above, not below. I'm going at the speed limit.
Well, go
right on the
fuck
dot.
yourself, Candace, because like I'm trying to pass you.
I don't pay attention to
no,
any.
it's
I'm definitely
not me.
not like the fast one. Like I'm not trying to. Like, have you guys ever driven in Burbank before?
Yes.
I
It's
thought you were gonna
terrifying.
say, have you ever driven in Birkenstocks before? And I was like,
Yeah, every
Hell
day.
yeah. People are crazy aggressive drivers out
Yeah.
there, and it scares the shit out of me because it's so dangerous. But I don't go purposefully slow. I think I just try to like feel the vibe.
I
out
try and
of
feel the vibe of the road. Feel the vibe of the road. There was this guy, I was going over the speed limit. Oh my God, don't arrest me. And this guy was tailgating me and just flashing his lights. And there were no cars in any other lane. So I just slowed down a bunch. And
Yeah.
then he kept just flashing his lights, not honking, flashing his lights. So I moved over, and then like he did it to another truck, and the truck just slowed down even more than I slowed
Yeah.
down. And I was like, I rolled down my window and I was like, yeah.
God,
Don't
I
be a
hate
dick driver, you
Don't be a
guys.
dick driver. If someone's going slow, try to get around them. And if you can't, just, tailgate them. Let's be real. I'm
Bree,
sorry.
Are you an aggressive driver?
A little bit.
Do you get road rage?
Oh, bad.
Really?
So bad. But It's only when someone's in the fast lane and they're not going fast.
So do you
guys
externalize it? Do you like yell?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. To nobody, to myself.
I get so, I guess I'm just like slower on the uptick because if somebody cuts me off or like almost hits me, I'm like, oh, like I'm too like surprised for me to be angry. I'm like, oh no. Oh, you, like,
Yeah.
it takes me way too long.
You're so sweet. I don't know. Yeah, I hate, because in LA, we spend so much time in our damn cars that I'm just like, any time I cannot be in my car is a great time. So I'm just always, I'm like, we're all just trying to get somewhere. So let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
just
true.
go and get out of our damn car.
I do feel like this was a conscious decision, but I feel like I really enjoy my time in the car. And maybe it's because I live with my boyfriend and like alone time is precious. But I also feel like all of the crying I have ever done has been in my car. All of like personal epiphanies, like great thinking
gosh, yeah.
happens in the car.
True.
Because you live your life in it and it's like, it's a personal space.
Crying while driving is dangerous, though, and I feel
very
like
dangerous.
that's like the only place I cry. It's like your emotions. You're like stuck alone with yourself, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
It's like, I can't be on my phone right now. I can't distract myself. All I have
Yeah.
to do is feel right now.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
great.
man.
I love
It
it.
is.
I love to feel.
Me too. I scream. I go into my car to scream.
Oh my God, yeah, me too. When I visit my family up in Northern California, when I did that drive by myself on the 5, it's like just a long straight road. It's so boring. And so like anytime I needed to sort some shit out, I just put on the music and be like, screaming. I highly recommend it. It's great.
What are some of your favorite road trip songs, or just like songs that you can listen to that'll just make you feel amazing?
I only listen to the radio. I don't have an aux cord. I don't have one of the cassette player things, so I'm like stuck with listening to the radio unless somebody like makes me a mix CD. But I always
I'm gonna
have.
make you mix
Dude, me too.
Thank you. Yeah, I always have the rap stations on. So love Drake. Love listening to Drake while I'm driving.
for sure.
So that's currently what's going on my road trip to work. My long trip to work commute.
I feel like for road trips and also just like for good vibes, if I need a pick me up, Motown and doo-wop always get me, like Frankie Lyon and the Teenagers and like the Ronettes, like those always, because it's just so classic and it's just it's so soothing to listen to. But I'm a big podcast girl, actually.
too.
If I'm on a road trip, what podcast
What are you
do you
listening?
like? I like the Tim Ferriss Show. Have you
is
heard of
that?
him?
No.
Okay, he's like this Bay Area business guy. He wrote these books called The 4-Hour Body and The 4-Hour Chef. Basically, his whole thing is to just try to learn a skill as fast as he can and like expedite learning how to do shit, and he's gotten really good at it. And so he, writes these books about how to learn all the basics of cooking in like a week, and business and stuff. And his podcast is he interviews the top performers in every category. So it's actors, singers, entrepreneurs, mathematicians, physicists, like anything you can imagine. He gets like the best of the best and interviews them about their process and about what they eat for breakfast and like if they meditate. And it's so interesting. And there's such good takeaways in every single one. Love that podcast. Love This American Life. My friend also has one called Fantasy Fiction, which is hilarious. And it's him and his buddy write short fantasy stories.
That's
They're
rad.
very, very funny. What about you?
I like Throwing Shade.
What's
It's
that?
so good. It's like these two comedians, Aaron Gibson and Brian Safi, and they just talk about like women's and gay issues that are happening currently, and then they kind of just make fun of everything, and it's amazing. I love it so much. And then I listen to Freakonomics
Oh, yeah?
and Doug Loves Movies, stuff like
Funny.
that.
Do you ever listen to Comedy Bang Bang, either of you?
No, I don't.
It's really good, and I have a quick story for it because it was Scott Aukerman had his show of Comedy Bang Bang, and it was
Let me
also
tell
a
you,
podcast.
I interned there at one point.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, back to you.
Okay, so Paul F. Tompkins, one of my
Love
favorites.
him.
Love him. So he's so great on the podcast. And in one of the first seasons of Comedy Bang Bang, he and Reggie Watts did a song about birdemic. And I got to meet Paul F. Tompkins on Saturday at a wedding. And I was totally starstruck. I was like, and my friend introduced me, and I was like, hey man, I'm a huge fan. I just have something stupid to say. Like, you totally made my life when you sang about birdemic. I'm like the girl in it, whatever. And he did his like great Paul F. Tompkins laugh.
Yeah.
And he was like, I've never seen it. Like, what? Years I had been like, oh man, like he's seen a movie that I was in, a terrible one.
No, Birdemic is
He
fucking
just-
amazing.
He just like started riffing on it, and that was like, it was so sad, but it's such a funny moment.
You got to talk to him.
Yeah,
so it's like
and he's
cool.
so sweet. I met his wife too. She's
Oh,
very sweet.
Lovely. Do you have any stories about your experience interning?
Interning for Comedy Bang Bang was super tight. It was awesome. I got to like watch, heroes perform. I got
Yeah.
to watch Fred Armisen. I got to meet him
cool.
real quick. I got to meet Jason Alexander.
Nice.
Like Reggie Watts was really nice to me and really cool. And he like, I don't think I ever told him my name, but like we were like kind of buds a little bit. And it was just really fun. It was cool. And like, it's funny because a lot of the people that worked on there, not a lot, but quite a few of the people actually did like, there's a couple people that do stand up, and I wasn't doing stand up at the time when I was interning. And so then I started doing stand up, and then like a lot of people that I used to work with, or a few people that I used to work with, are in the stand up community. And you're like, oh my gosh, like we work together and stuff like that. But yeah, it was really cool. I couldn't have asked for a cooler LA experience at like 17. Like,
Have you
it
guys
was
ever
really
been
awesome.
starstruck by somebody?
oh my goodness. I feel like I don't get starstruck. I get like excited, and I'm just like, oh, this is cool. Like, I feel like I'm like, oh, this person is like, I don't know. I didn't feel starstruck when I met any of those people, but I was just like happy and excited. But the one time I got starstruck, I was at ArcLight movie theater in Hollywood. And I was with my friend, and Big Sean was there with Janae Aiko. They were like on a date. They were going to see The Jungle Book. And my friend, she's like very bold. Like, she can talk to anybody. And like, I think I can talk to people once I know them. And I feel like I'm kind of maybe a little shy until I get to know people, depending on the situation I'm in. But she just goes up to them and she goes, hey, what's up? And we're just like having kind of a conversation. And I'm just like standing there, like, I'm like, just smiling. I'm like, yeah. And my friend had a bag, this purse with Drake's face on it. And Janae Iko goes, oh, I like your bag. And she's like, oh, yeah, thanks. Like, they were just having this casual conversation. I was like, yeah, it's really exciting to meet you, or something. Like, I was like, yeah, I really like your music, or something like so dumb. And then like, I don't know, it was just funny because I like said one like little thing, and my friend was like having a conversation, and then we got a picture with them, and I don't know, the picture is so bad. Like, I don't think I'm like this ugly girl. Like, I'm like, I'm a cute girl.
my God, you're so
We're all
pretty.
cute. We're all cute girls in here. But when you stand next to a celebrity, you're just like instantly like,
I'm gross.
I'm a monster.
10 times uglier. Like, you're just like posing, and you're like you just like, I was like, looks like I'm melting in the picture with my friend. And like, Janae goes so tiny and like so beautiful, and Big Sean is like hot as hell, like in
Yeah.
person. I was just like, this guy is handsome. Anyway,
That's the thing about
What
celebrities.
an experience.
Is like they always start off as normal people, and then they get money, and then they get
Yes.
stylists, and then they have hair and
Yes.
makeup people. So
oh
it's
my
like, of
gosh,
course they always
give
look
me a
amazing.
stylist, please.
I know, me too. But
Can we have a SourceFed stylist? I feel like I need to update my look.
oh my God, no. See, I love your. I feel like you're my office twin because I feel
Yeah.
like we each just have really cool shirts. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie, that's
that's
something I
right.
love about
I
us.
need to
Yeah.
update my look. This
You also
is
have
from the 80s.
That's what I'm
maybe?
saying, though. Here's the thing,
uh-oh.
Candace. I want both of your wardrobes. Like, all of your thrift finds, I dig.
We should do
Oh
a
my
clothing
goodness,
swap
thank you.
and
Oh
get
my
rid
God.
of the shit that we don't like anymore. And
So in.
I feel like since today is my first day, Monday, as a full timer here at SourceFed, I was like, I gotta start buying more shirts because they shoot from the waist up, and I was like, I don't have that many. I have a couple that I like, but I really gotta expand that wardrobe. Maybe I can expense it.
Yes.
Who knows?
Yes, you can. Have you ever gotten starstruck?
Yes, and it was the one time that I didn't like approach them and like say hey. It was the actresses from Another Period.
Oh, cool.
So funny. I was at the Cine Family and I just like couldn't do it. I don't know. I guess I have a harder time approaching funny women for some reason, which I have no idea what that comes from. But I just like was such a creeper and like stood around and like ate my popcorn and was like, she's over there. Oh my god, like
Yeah.
freaking out. And usually if I'm at a party and somebody is like famous there, someone will be buddies with them. So I'm like, oh man, that's so cool that this person's here. It's like, oh, I know them. I'll introduce you. And it's not like a thing.
Yeah.
But Tom Morello once, do you guys know who that is? He's the guitarist in Rage Against the Machine, which was one of my favorite bands in high school. He was at a birthday party. And I got like super starstruck by him, but my friend introduced me, and he was so nice. He talked to me for like 10 minutes about comic books, and then he was like, "Well, I gotta go tuck my daughter in. It was so nice to
my
meet
God.
you. Hey, what's your address? I'll send you the comic that I wrote." Because he did a sci-fi comic, and I was like, "Oh, okay, Tom Morello, that's fine." But then a week later, I like got a stack of comic books in the mail of his comic.
That's so tight.
It was like super nice. It's exactly what you would imagine a Rage Against the Machine comic would be like. Like the government's bad, like dystopian future. But it was cool with
That's
him.
rad.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever really been. I mean, I do get starstruck a little bit, but I always try to play it off. Like my number one excuse for not going up to celebrities and saying hi is because I'm just like, no, because maybe one day I'll work with them and they'll remember how awkward and weird it was.
Oh yeah.
Which is probably not true, but also like I'm just I'm just shy.
Yeah.
But Tracy Ellis Ross,
oh,
I saw
shit.
her at the Critics' Choice Awards, and she is just like my ultimate queen. Like I worship her. I think she's so funny and so talented. And I saw her, and she was just like, she had this dress that was like draping on the ground, and I was just like, oh, I can't even be in your presence right now. You're amazing. But
I feel like that's
Yeah.
where it comes from is you don't want to, especially if you're a comic or, you know, doing entertainment in some sense of the word, you don't want to come off like a freak because you don't want to be like, yeah, there's an aspect that is like you want to make a professional relationship with someone. You want to work with them eventually. And so you're
Yeah.
like, what if they remember how awkward I was? And also there's like the other side of that, which is they don't always want to be bothered. I saw
True.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt at Fred 62. Have you been there? That
yeah, I was there
diner?
last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That diner's good as hell,
It's
man.
good.
And he had like, he was with this girl and he had like an entire spread of very different foods. He had like a burger and waffles with ice cream and a milkshake and coffee and like a Bloody Mary and like
Wow.
so much different food. It was really satisfying to see because it's like, dude, you're having a good time.
If I was that rich,
Me
yeah,
too.
I would love to just order whatever
Go to
I
a
want and try
diner.
everything. I'll have one of everything, please.
That's the dream.
It really is. Yeah, it's weird because it's like I am such a huge fan of so many celebrities, but then I don't want them to know I'm a fan. I kind of want them to see me as equal, even though I'm
Yeah.
not.
No,
but I
but
want
that's so
them to
real.
be. You know what I mean? So like when I did I did a collaboration with Elizabeth Banks.
I saw that,
And
dude.
it was like the whole time I was just like, why is she talking to me? She's so fucking cool.
For the
She's
record,
so down
you
to
were so
earth.
funny in that sketch. It's
Oh,
great.
thanks.
And I was like, wow, fuck Brie. She got to meet Elizabeth
I
Banks.
don't understand how it happened, but it was
cool.
so cool, but I was so scared.
But see, that's the thing. Like, that is a situation where you guys were peers, and that's so cool because that is always something, you know, even if it's unrealistic, that's something that's in the back of your mind as somebody who's like got dreams. Like, oh, I want them to see me as a peer and not a fan.
Totally.
And
Like
it's
because
real.
I've like worshipped her
Oh my God,
from such
she's
a
the
young age.
best.
Like Wet Hot American Summer, I was just like all about her character in that because I'm like, how do you play? Like you obviously have to be so smart to play a character so dumb.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
you
my
really
God.
do. And she's just so cool to me.
She's brilliant.
Yeah.
Guys, check that sketch
Shout out
if
to
you can.
Shout out
Elizabeth
Elizabeth
Banks.
she's just the best.
Cool
She
last
really
name
is.
too.
Yeah.
She's the best Banks I know. She's better than who's the other one?
Brianna Banks?
Azalea Banks.
Azalea Banks, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Brianna Banks,
what
the
about
porn star.
Tyra?
Oh, not I
Maybe
mean,
not Tyra.
They're neck and neck.
knows?
I mean, Tyra's amazing.
Did you guys watch like a lot of America's Next Top Model? Because I watched the first couple
Yes.
seasons and I was like, I fell off of it. I think it's because I moved to LA and didn't have cable, but I really want to get back into it just because of like all the precious Tyra moments where she's like, I was rooting for you. We was all rooting for you.
That was the best moment in
great
television
TV.
history. That
would
moment when
get
she
so-
freaks out
She
and
would
yells
get
at that
so
girl.
mad. She would get so mad a lot though. And wow, what a show! What a
But
show!
then she didn't. Like,
She'd
then
be
later
like,
on, though, she became really like anti-bully, body positivity, and
Yeah.
like the whole show became like skewed on like, don't let beauty be the only thing that matters. You should also be smart. And she like
a
totally
nice
turned.
message,
It was
yeah.
a nice message, but it definitely lost its like edge.
Yeah.
You know what show I watched? Search for the Next Pussycat Doll.
What is
I remember
what?
that show.
It was, I don't know. First of all, the Pussycat Dolls is just Nicole Scherzinger and like a bunch of really talented girls behind it, but they don't really have solos. They're just like almost backup dancers for the
Yeah.
most part. And so for that to be like a reality show is kind of funny because it's not like Search for the Next Spice Girl or something where it's like, you know,
They're all
a girl,
equal
a soul,
parts.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like Nicole Scherzinger and the girls, you know. So it was a funny show. I just remember my mom, sister, and I like watching it, and like we enjoyed it. It was great, and they were like really great dancers and really talented. But
Dude, the
Yeah.
Pussycat
It's
Dolls, that
funny.
is such a capsule of the time. Oh my God. Did you guys ever watch The Search for Paris Hilton's New Best Friend?
Yes, I did.
watched that
I
one
think
too.
I watched
yes, I
that
did.
recently, like last year. I feel like I watched it somehow. Don't know who I was watching it with, but
Imagine being on either side
It
of
was
that show, either
bad.
being Paris Hilton and being like, I want to do a show where I find my new best friend,
Yeah.
or being someone that is like, I want to be Paris Hilton's best friend.
I can't
So-
imagine. I can't imagine being that person that's just like, basically, she was just looking for an assistant.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
that's, she's like, I just want someone who's going to be around and carry all my stuff. It's like, so you're looking for an assistant
do you
that
guys,
doesn't want to get paid. That's not going to get paid.
I wish that I could have a show like that.
Me too.
Do you guys watch reality shows? Like, are you fans of reality shows? 'Cause
I love TLC shows like My Strange Addiction. That's my shit. Because, like, have you guys seen those episodes?
yeah, I've seen a
So
few.
the lady that is married to a roller coaster, or did you see that one?
No, I did not.
She cheats on him.
With what?
Another
With what
roller
object?
coaster.
Oh,
she
no.
okay, so they're boys, and she's talking about how like in love with this roller coaster. It's kind of fucked up. She's talking about how in love she is with this roller coaster, but he hasn't been working lately. Like he needs to be repaired, and then she goes on another fucking roller coaster, and she comes, and she's like. And she talks about it on the show, and it's like, dude, that's fucking cold as ice, man.
Damn, girl.
Cheat on your roller coaster husband.
Yeah, I think
Man.
some of those My Strange Addictions are a little too much for me. I've never gotten super into it. I'm more of a lighthearted fan. My, top show right now, Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh my God, Matt Lieberman was just telling me about that last week when we
Matt-
were on when we did Sam's Best
Yeah.
Thing podcast. He's obsessed with it.
It's such a great show. So I'm a fan of I'm about to go off about
Go
this.
off
it.
about it.
Okay, I love The Bachelor. I love Bachelorette. But it's also like kind of fucked up. Like it's 25 women, 25 men, and 1 woman or 1 man. And it's like, okay, like it's fine, whatever. I find it entertaining. It's funny. And people in like 2 weeks are like, I came here for this guy. I'm in love with him. And it's like, no, you're not. Whatever. But the cool thing about Bachelor in Paradise is like they make an effort to make the editing funny. Like the editors or whoever is directing the editing, they're like intentionally like making stuff funny. But also what's cool about this show is like it's equal amount of men and women, and it's all people from past seasons of The Bachelor
That
and
didn't
The
make it,
Bachelorette that
right?
didn't find love, right? So there are all these people that come in, and it's like equal amount of men and women, and then they add 1 extra person each week to stir the pot. So if people already have built relationships, but then they're like, oh no, Stephanie just came and I wanted to meet her. Should I break up with Jennifer? Like, so it's like there's a lot of drama, but also there's not like those stupid like competition things they make them do in like The Bachelor and Bachelorette. They're all just hanging out on a beach in Mexico, having fun. They'll go on some fun dates, and then like the drama is just like natural. Like I feel like it's the realest Bachelor franchise show.
It's like
put
put horny people on an island together and see
yeah,
if they
but it's
pair
like
off.
it's just like fun, and then like you just I don't know, it's so fun. I'm super into it, and like I was saying, the comedy editing, like they just do stuff. They like amplify
They
things.
make people look so stupid.
But they make things so
It's so
extreme. Like
funny.
this girl was like clearly talking to a producer, but the producer wasn't in the shot, and they just kept cutting back to a parrot in Mexico that like was talking. So she was just like crying, talking to this parrot. And then like there was this one guy, Chad, who's this like huge big bully. Like he's not a good guy, but like before he came, everybody, like the few contestants that were on the beach, it was like the first episode, and they were like, I don't know, I think Chad's coming, and the editors like made the screen rumble like and they would like cut to like thunderstorms and like his feet thudding, boom boom, and like crazy stuff like
I might
to
need
make
to check
it
this out.
Yeah.
it's so
It sounds so
funny,
fun.
and like watching it with like friends too that are like that haven't seen it before, you're just like, oh, it's
so
just
good.
so
This
great.
is
the
I'm
second
so into it.
recommendation in a week for Bachelor in Paradise, and now I have to check it
think
out.
we have to watch it.
we
Really
gotta-
great.
Man.
Love it.
I'm not a huge reality show person, but I will say I am really into the show Barely Famous. I was telling you about
Yeah,
that.
you were.
It's about the Foster sisters, Sarah and Aaron Foster. Their dad is David Foster from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I've never
I
seen
thought that
before.
was called Unfamous. Or
No,
something.
it's called Barely,
Barely
Famous,
Fa- oh,
and
Barely
it's
Fa-
not. It's like it's not a real reality show. It's a scripted comedy
right.
show that makes fun of reality shows, and it's just making fun of these two girls in Hollywood that really did grow up like around all these celebrities and the Hollywood lifestyle. But they're making fun of themselves, and it's brilliant, and it's so funny. They write it themselves, they act in it. It's great.
I gotta
love it.
check that out, and you have to give Another Period another shot. I know you watched the first couple. It is so good once you get into it, but it's the same thing. It's scripted reality. That one's supposed to be like the Kardashians, which I've never seen, but my sisters love. They're like those girls
Okay.
that love the Kardashians. They bought waist trainers because Kim had one. Oh my God, got the Kylie lip kits. They love it. They love the
All right.
Kardashians.
We're going to check all these shows out, and you guys should too. And on that note, I could talk to you girls forever. This was such a great podcast. Where can people find you?
You can find me at SourceFed.com. Also,
Oh.
at Tweet Me More on Twitter. And if you like metal, well, let me tell you, I have a metal news show on a website called metalsucks.net. We like to make fun of ourselves. We keep it light. We
That's
keep it tight.
awesome.
It's very fun if you like metal.
Hell yeah. Candace?
You can find me on Twitter at Candace Sucks, and you can find me on my YouTube channel, Hunan Penguin.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget to check out Nuclear Family. New videos every Tuesday and Thursday at youtube.com/nuclearfamily. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, Facebook at Brie Esrig. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, rate, review, like, whatever. Whatever
Tell us
helps,
about
you know?
your poop.
Tell us all about that poo-poo. All right. Bye.
Bye.
If you're like, I don't know if I've done anything with my life, make your own website because I feel so
Into a delicious breakfast.
Matt, did you say you bought this last night?